Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Tonight, we're gonna check out a row of Studebakers. All three of these right here, late 40s era Studebakers. We've got 2 champions and 1 commander. Now, I did a video on these several months ago when I first found them. As I found them. Now, these cars weren't too far away from me, which was fortunate. But I do have them all hauled in here. And as you just saw, this one right here, that's exactly how I brought it in. That's exactly as I found it. Fortunately, it was close. So I just strapped the bedliner and everything down and hauled it in just the way it is. I haven't even looked inside of it yet. So we're going to get to do that too here in just a little bit. But the funny thing about it, what is really weird about these cars being late 40s era Studebakers, the company had been around for almost 100 years at that point. Now it's kind of crazy to think about. These cars were made roughly 75 years ago. And at that point, Studebaker had already been around for almost 100 years. Some interesting facts, as it's found in the 100 Years on the Road Studebaker book, or pamphlet kind of. They started in February of 1852, February 16th of 1852. Now the Studebakers actually started in Pennsylvania. John Studebaker moved his family west to Ohio in 1836. Now a couple of his sons, Henry and Clement, they moved on as they become of age and moved to South Bend, Indiana. Obviously, we all know that's where Studebakers came from. And when his sons got older, that's where they moved and that's where they ended up. Now, Clement actually was a school teacher, so he saved his money. And he and Henry opened a blacksmith and wagon building enterprise called H&C Studebaker, which, like we said, opened February 16th of 1852. Their total resources, $68, 2 sets of smithy tools, and Father Studebaker's parting counsel: always give more than you promise. Now, and I think Studebaker did that for a really long time. Obviously, when these cars were built, it was getting towards the end of the run. But Studebaker, extremely well known and extremely dependable and extremely popular automobile for a lot of years. And I believe that's probably where it came from. Father Studebaker's parting counsel: always give more than you promise. Now, the first day that they opened up in February 16th of 1852, total gross profits for the first day of operation, 25 cents for shoeing a horse. Kind of crazy to think about that these cars sitting here today at 75 years old were already at almost the 100-year point in the history of Studebaker. So let's get this one uncovered, and then let's take a look at all 3 of these examples of Studebaker from the late 40s. And like I said, I haven't even seen inside of this one yet. As you saw in the first pictures, this is exactly as it came in. As you saw in the first video, this is exactly how I found it. And let's see what we've got. Who knows? I don't know. You never know. Maybe it's full of gold bars. Doubtful, but you can always hope, right? Let's get this thing uncovered, and then let's go walk around these things. Well, there she is. Let's go check them all out. We'll start down here on this end, on the roughest of these 3. This is by far the most incomplete car. The other 2 are pretty much incomplete. We can see this one's missing a lot of trim, and there's no front clip on this one. Now, all of these cars are 4-doors, but this one, like I said, definitely the roughest. No front end whatsoever, no engine, no transmission, no front clip. And it appears as though this car was in an accident, because we can see where it's bent up a little bit back here, wrinkled right here on the cowl. So this car was in an accident, and that's probably why the whole front clip was removed off of it. Inside, There's some of the front clip. There's at least one front fender, and it looks like a few other miscellaneous pieces inside of this one. And just a bunch of old cans and things like that. It looks like some old paint cans and stuff like that. Some of the dash pieces are still here. Super cool horn button. Champion on the dash. But not a ton of parts left on this car. Definitely still some stuff here that's going to help with some restorations, but definitely nowhere near a complete car. Just going to be bits and pieces left on this old Studebaker. Now the next one, this Commander here, is much more intact, with a lot more pieces on it. Now, if you saw in the other video where we found these, could not see this car at all because it was completely covered up as well. So let's take a peek inside of this one. These are a pretty sharp car. These are all like 40, like I said, late 40s, 47, 48, 49 era Studebakers. Let's take a peek inside of this one. And it's full of all kinds of stuff. There's some Buick hubcaps. This one is missing all of the gauges out of it. Does still have the horn button, the horn ring. And the back is also piled full of stuff. Another Buick hubcap, some old boxes, some trim. Looks like even an old TV set. Don't know what that's doing in here, but Commander right on the dash of this one. This one is missing its taillights. Does still have the rear bumper, the trunk handle. Some of that stuff is still here on this old Commander. This side's dented up a little bit, but I don't see a ton of rust in this car either. Super cool big fender spears, hood ornament. These were a pretty sharp car for their day. And on to the Champion. Let's check this one out. We may have to pull some more of this tarp back to even get a good look at this thing. Yeah, there's not as much of it on this side at least. Still got some wires hanging some of this stuff up. See if we can get poked in here. Like I said, who knows what's in here? I've never seen it. So let's check it out. This one does still have the dash in it. And some other miscellaneous pieces laying inside of this one. Still has the Champion on the dash over there. And a few miscellaneous pieces in the back seat, but not much. Unfortunately, no piles of bars of gold or anything good like that. I have yet to find the car that comes in with bars of gold in it yet, by the way. So, but hey, you can always hope, right? So there it is. First time I've seen inside of it was right now with you guys. Unfortunately, just a few extra bits and pieces is all that was there. A little bit of rust in the rear quarter of this one. Let's see what we got around the back here. So like I said, still covered up. I have no idea what's here. And I'm not missing anything because it's all stripped off the back of this one as well. So unfortunately, no cool trunk handle or tail lights left on this one either. Does still have the super cool hood ornament on it. Front hood badge. So pretty neat old car. Obviously I was hoping for better, but you never know. So as you can see, when we saw the first video of these, I couldn't see much of them. Just uncovered this one and just found some extra parts. But hey, you can't win them all, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Unfortunately, this one wasn't full of gold or money, but still added 3 really great Studebakers to the inventory. Neat old cars with a lot of hard to find pieces. So never a bad thing to add some of this cool stuff to the inventory here at Nobody Else's Auto. Well, there you have it. A trio of Studebakers just came in here. Lots of good pieces on them. All these cars probably a little too far gone for a project, but they don't reproduce anything for these cars. There's not a lot of them left out there. Studebakers weren't always the most popular car in the collector car world, to where a lot of them got saved over the years. So was definitely glad to add these to inventory. I only had a couple Studebakers in this era, and nothing quite as good as these as far as the pieces that are still left on them. So hope you guys enjoyed them. If you've got any questions about these old Studebakers or any of the other 2000 cars and trucks I've got here on the ground at Nobody Else's Auto, just give me a call, 620-786-4428. That number is in the description part for this video. Having a short conversation with you about your project, year, make, model, body style, what you need for your project, or what you're looking for a project. I need all that information from you to know if I've got something here that might be able to help you out. So just give me a quick call. Be more than happy to have that conversation with you, whether it's about this Studebakers or anything else we've got here. We'll sure see if we can help you out with your project. You like these old cars, you like old trucks, you like memorabilia, be sure to check out the channel, Nobody's Show. Be sure to click that subscribe button and definitely click that notification button. We do a lot of cool live stuff on here. You don't want to miss any of that either. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. We've got a ton of cool stuff coming up. I've been buying a bunch of Impalas, some Cadillacs, some killer trucks. We've got a lot of neat stuff coming up. You don't want to miss any of that. So definitely subscribe so you can keep up with all the new videos as I post them. Like I said, a lot of neat stuff that you're not going to want to miss. Thanks for watching, everybody.